Hello everybody and welcome to the Wooden Sheep Gaming Podcast. We've got a few interesting topics to discuss today, but before that we've got to introduce our lovely guests. We've got the luscious Ragewild.
Hello.
And we've got the industrious Thomi.
Industrious? Hello.
Yeah, I just came up with it. I was going to say illustrious, but... and we've got...
The grandiose Guf.
No, you can't do your own. That one's for me. You're the good with your hands, Guf. And what'd you call yourself? Grand MrWoodenSheep. I know you're really anxious to see how the Monster Hunter movie turns out. Well, we've got another update.
No.
Fortunately, it's not as bad as the other ones. It's actually maybe towards the good side.
Holy shit, that actually looks great.
It actually looks like a proper top quality cosplay, right? Like that looks like the game. But you can see, so the synopsis, I don't know if we said it last time. I don't think we did. But it's apparently a bunch of UN soldiers that go through a portal into the Monster Hunter world and then team up basically with the Monster Hunter hunters and have to like fend off monsters from attacking our current world. So a little bit of a bonkers plot, but it's actually kind of cool to see.
Their guns.
Yeah, I don't know. But you can actually see like she's wearing the Odogaron vest, and you can see like the actual bone greatsword, and I actually like that it actually seems pretty faithful to the games. It's starting to seem more faithful, because before the Gatling guns and all that was a little bit But like they might as well tattoo damaged on her forehead, you know, like I don't know.
Damn, Star Wars 9 looking weird.
Yeah, it does look. That does look like the first few screenshots we saw from episode 7, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm actually happy it's going the slightly right direction. But we'll see how it goes.
I still think it will not do its service.
It'll probably be shit, right? But
yeah, but just like Resident Evil, it will be shit, but the general populace will like it.
You said that last time.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to go into it too much again, but are there not actual characters from the Resident Evil games in the movies? Is it not actually consistent? Like you haven't played the games, you said, so you can't fully compare, right?
I think the first one is like completely different than
maybe the first one, maybe. But I'm pretty sure later on they actually bring in characters and like it is consistent with the world. But I need to watch the movies to be able to say.
Yeah, you don't have that issue in Monster Hunter because you basically don't have any characters.
Sure, like the main character you meet is called the Handler. Like they don't have a name, or the Commander and stuff.
Well, if you look at the cast of the like Monster Hunter movie they're currently making, the roles are the Hunter and the Admiral.
Yeah, okay, so they're actually going to be called that in the movie, I guess. I wonder if it's going to be UN Soldier 1, UN Soldier 2. Oh, kill that monster number 3. By the way, speaking of movies, just really quick, did you guys see the trailer for the new Lion King?
I have.
I saw screenshots, like
screenshots.
pictures, but not the trailer.
It seems pointless to me, because it's like shot for shot the same movie so far. Like they have exact same shots from the animated original.
Yeah, I've seen like a comparison video, and it's the exact same thing, 100%.
Yeah, and same music and stuff, and I don't know, it's like, it seems to me just like a cash grab, like on nostalgia for the people our age, and then also for the newer generation. But I don't see how this could be any sort of improvement over the original animation. I don't know. It just seems weird to me.
I wouldn't say it is a cash grab. It is intended to make money, sure, but it's still high quality.
I know,
production.
but
like I've seen the Jungle Book movie.
Right, it's the same director.
Yeah, it was quite like I liked it. It was quite impressive.
Mm-hmm.
It's well made. It was well like it's a good movie. It's a good movie experience.
Yeah, I guess I don't know, I've never really had that experience with any movies, like having a quote-unquote remake, but it's a completely different art style. It's not drawn, it's like CGI.
It's just I don't see the benefit. Like when you remaster a game, it looks better, or even I don't know.
Gameplay improvements too when they do remasters.
Not even necessarily that. Like if you change the art style, like if you tell a movie again in a different way, like Pokemon, right? Detective Pikachu, it's at least a new story, and maybe it changes the art style from the games or whatever. But I don't know. This seems like it's gonna be the same movie, but just with a more bland look, in my opinion, anyway. I mean, and also we didn't see Timon and Pumbaa. I wonder if it's like gonna be a
Why?
dark.
Why do you think it's a bland look though?
That's just my personal opinion, I guess. But like to me, seeing the hand-drawn animation of the original was like, you know, it's impressive. But this is just kind of basic CG. There's nothing that cool or intricate about it. It's not like. I mean, for example, like the new Ghostbusters, it's like, oh, we can do cool new visual effects for like ghosts and like this supernatural stuff, or even Star Wars, you can see like new cool space battles or whatever. But this is just lions, and they don't even look that real, in my opinion. They look good, but not like, wow, I can't tell the difference.
I think they're fairly close, but honestly, like this, a Lion King is one of those cases where probably everybody has that one guy in their friends group or whatever. Like I had an ex-girlfriend who would like watch it 2-3 times a year or something, and like she loved that movie. And there's probably a lot of people out there that like rewatching old movies and then just having a new one to spice it up a little bit. I mean, in the end, that kind of thing regulates itself. If nobody would want that, nobody would be hyped for it, which apparently people are anyways.
Yeah, of course.
Disney has been at this for years now, almost a decade even, where they are making like normal movies from their old IPs. There was what is the Jungle Book was
there. They did Beauty and the Beast as well.
Yeah, Beauty and the Beast, Maleficent.
Yeah. It just, I mean, if you like kind of retell the story, fine. But so far, the way the trailer made it looked like it was kind of pointless.
It will be. I think you would still enjoy it if you enjoyed the original. Like that's
yeah, maybe.
They understand that their audience is getting older, and they also want to draw in new people as well. It will be successful, and this is fun for both people who know the originals and people who don't. Like
yeah,
children. This is still a children's movie, so.
Yeah, if the movie was, say, 5 or 10 years old, I totally agree with you, Sheep. But the Lion King movie is from what, like the 60s?
Not that old.
Or like, what? I actually don't know how old it is. I have no clue. I've never watched it.
Yeah.
It's not from the 90s, is it? I thought it was at least 80s, but I'm not sure.
Like I'm even
1998.
Oh yeah, I was talking. No, I was
Lion
talking
King
about
2. That's Lion King 2.
I was thinking about Jungle Book. That was like way older.
Yeah, that's old.
I'm curious if
1994.
you will remake something like Aladdin or something like that.
Okay,
as well.
Aladdin. It's just
even though Aladdin without Robbie Williams wouldn't be as good.
They all just seem like, oh, it's gritty now, slightly darker, because, you know, we're in the...
It's not dark, though. Like, I thought so as well about the Jungle Book, but it's not. It's more mature, for sure, but it's not, like, dark or gritty.
No, yeah, I'm not saying there's gonna be gore and stuff.
Tale.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. And
even in the atmosphere.
I think the original Jungle Book was also a little bit more mature. But, yeah. It just seems to me like there's no benefit, but that's just my opinion. I just wanted to talk about it quickly.
The Jungle Book movie, that's my best comparison, I suppose. They also have still the original songs or like melodies.
Yeah, I know.
But they are still catered to children to some extent.
Yeah.
I'm not looking enough into movies because I didn't even know they quote unquote remastered the Jungle Book too.
Yep, they did like a year or two ago.
Yeah, 2016.
You know, we see a lot of remasters, but have you guys ever seen any demasters? Like the game called Lucius. Do you know Lucius? It's about some devil child. It's basically Hitman, but you're a devil child. You're Satan's son, and you just go around killing like your family, your supposed family, but because your true father is Satan. And they actually demade the game, like they made it all retro and stuff a few years later, and kind of recreated it as if it would be like on the NES era or something like that. And I thought that was kind of an interesting idea. I haven't played it, so I don't know if it's good. And Sanctum kind of did it as well, in a way. But yeah. Also, speaking of going back in time, kind of, you know how Siege is changing. I think we talked about it in one of the previous episodes, but Siege is basically changing some art assets for the game, Rainbow Six Siege, for the Chinese market. Yeah. They're trying to censor like slot machines in the world and stuff like that, and there's like a neon sexy chick in a strip club, and they're changing it to a hand, and everyone got really pissy Not necessarily like I don't disagree with it, but they're actually reverting the changes. Have you guys heard that?
Yes.
No,
I have not.
Yeah, they're actually going to
Okay.
revert it, which I mean, okay, like my stance on this thing was it was annoying. I don't like that China can dictate the whole world's game and like the art direction, because a lot of games like CSGO, for example, have separate versions. And I understand it's more work for the developers, obviously. But it still kind of sucked, but in the end I got over it slightly. But like if you went on any news post from Ubisoft on the Rainbow Six Siege on the Steam community hub, it's like, oh, we released a new patch fixing this glitch or whatever. All the comments were, this comment has been redacted by China. And like people, like, I don't know, they just couldn't let go. I again, it's some sort of form of weird censorship. I don't like it, but people really couldn't let go of it, and I think that's kind of funny.
Yeah,
But in the end,
people
they're
try to
going back. So
Region lock China.
people try to
Yeah.
fight for what they like, and people like there is a rabid fan base behind Siege nowadays.
yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
it's one of the most popular games currently on the PC market. So
yeah, we were
it's
there.
definitely top 5.
We were back in
Yeah.
the day in the 2016 summer of Siege, ranked when every match had a hacker. Oh, I'll never get over those days.
The one thing that bugged me the most about this is, hey, we have to take out the references to gambling, but we can keep the gambling. You know,
In
like
our
the
actual game,
they did take the alpha packs out, but
Mm.
let's not have slot machines. While alpha pack are literally slot machines. So yeah.
And just removing blood splatters from a wall or in a game about terrorism, and like you still shoot the people. It's just it's so strange.
Have
But-
you seen like I don't know which version that was, but there was a version for some other countries of Counter-Strike. I've seen this like not long ago, like a week or two ago, where like old versions of 1.6, I think it was 1.6 or Source, where like it was literally Counter-Strike, but instead of people dying, there was like no blood or anything, I believe. But like the guy didn't die, the terrorist didn't die, but like he got shot at, and then suddenly just goes on his knees and puts his hands behind his back and surrenders.
Yes, they all surrender instead of dying in Counter-Strike.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's
Was it the
you're
Chinese
being
version?
Fucking shot. I don't know. I just saw like that clip. I don't
like
I can't
headshot
probably
with a
find
50 caliber bullet. Let me just
Yeah.
surrender real
it. And
quick.
he just like goes on his knees and surrenders.
There's other games that have done stuff like that. I'm trying to remember what, but yeah, that's always, I don't know, man. Like sometimes censorship is so backwards. It's a game about you blow up the place, but it's like let me surrender. It's weird. I was, for example, for some reason when you were going with that, you're like, oh, you shoot them. I was expecting like a UFO comes and abducts them and takes them away or something.
Well, that will work too, yeah. But no, they just give up.
Oh man, I have a lot of bad encounters in Counter-Strike. Like just today, man. We finished a round and someone said, "Open window, open window." I was like, I don't know why he's telling me to open the window, but okay. So I shot the window open, and then he's like, "Okay, that's it. I've had enough. I'm gonna mute all of you." I was like, "What the fuck did I do wrong? I've been nice the whole match. I'm just trying to help." And then I realized he's saying op in window. He wants me to pick up the op sniper rifle in window for him.
Yeah,
And
he said
because
it
I
like after a minute.
because I misunderstood, he gets upset and mutes the entire team. Like, I don't know. But
Yeah, we had a little bit of a discussion on that, and like I can understand the guy somewhat. Look, we had 2 Russians in our team. That should explain a lot. And like they didn't listen. None of them...
just to clarify, I'm half Russian and so is Rage, and we are very civil people. But
Look, I don't have anything against Russians in general.
I
I
know
just
what you're
have
saying.
something
They're
against
stereotypical.
Russians in Counter-Strike.
yeah, the stereotypical people that play Counter-Strike.
Who are you
Yeah.
calling civil?
They didn't.
Yeah, your
they
name
didn't
is Wild.
speak English. They like one of them like at the very start of the game didn't say a thing, but let's blast the fucking music
Yeah.
to the mic and like why? And
Oh, God. It's
yeah,
a
that
mess
other guy,
sometimes.
that Brit guy was tilted and he had this weird accent. So like I was listening too. Like we both heard him say.
Tommy got the same condition. Yeah. Open window.
Open window. Yeah, I heard open window as well, like 3 times. and I did not know what he wanted either.
Oh, by the way, did you guys know? I don't know if any of you care about Telltale's Walking Dead, but it's officially been they're continuing development like as we speak. Skybound Studios have picked it up, like we said in the first episode, and they are also going to put up for sale. They've acquired the whole game series basically, so all of the seasons will come back on sale and stuff. So that's a nice bit of good news.
Are they finishing it?
Yeah, they're gonna finish off the last few episodes. Like a new dev team has picked it up.
Okay.
Oh, a new dev team?
Yeah, Skybound. They're somehow responsible with the graphic novel. I don't remember how.
Did they buy the?
They bought the rights, and they bought a lot of the
IP?
members from. They hired a lot of the members from Telltale that were working on it.
Okay.
So it's gonna actually be finished, which is cool.
That's nice to hear that people can also keep their jobs.
Yeah.
It's weird though, because like didn't Telltale prove that the system isn't working anymore? That like, yeah, because every Telltale game is the exact same thing, people just didn't really want it anymore.
That's also because they didn't address the major critique points, like shitty, like the engine was outdated, and they didn't address it at all.
Yeah, I'm gonna be.
Like they didn't heed to criticism at all. They just continued pounding their formula until they went bankrupt.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what kind of twist they're gonna put on it.
Regardless of how well it was doing, I think they just want to bring closure to the story and for the fans and stuff. So
The developers definitely.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Like, and also after all of this nonsense with Telltale and how they've died, I think probably it's gonna boost sales a little bit. When the game finally comes out again, people are gonna be like, "Oh yes, it's a success story," you know, and that might help them a little bit.
I still might pick up the third season to play through it.
Yeah, I've only played the first two. I loved them. I really enjoy the universe, and I enjoy Telltale games in general. Although I do totally recognize that they're pretty much the same, but I just like the interactions and the good writing and stuff. The next thing I've written down. Have you guys? When was the last time you guys have played a game without subtitles? A story game.
All the time.
Not you choosing to disable it, but a game that doesn't have the option for subtitles.
I don't think I've ever had that.
Pretty archaic, right? I think every modern game I play nowadays, I would say, has the option for subtitles, because there's a bit of controversy now that the Spyro remasters by Activision don't have subtitles, and a lot of deaf people can't enjoy the story and not know what's going on.
Is there a reason?
There was no reason initially, but they came out with their response with, "We wanted to be as faithful to the original games as possible."
That's
so
stupid.
The original games didn't have subtitles, so that's why we didn't put subtitles.
Really?
Guys, trust us.
That's so stupid.
That's so stupid, man.
I mean, should have had subtitles.
No, the original did not. It came out in the PS1 era. Nothing had subtitles back then.
I mean, I've played it like a year ago. I played Spyro, but yeah.
I don't think, I'm 90% sure. Maybe I'm wrong. But that was their response, so obviously maybe some of the Spyro games had it. Maybe Legend of Spyro had subtitles, but the original series didn't. But it's such a dumb... I mean, like, if you want to say something like technically it was hard, or I don't know, but
technically it's hard to put in the subtitles. Yeah, sure, buddy.
I don't know, man. But I mean, that response
make them and like let people turn them off. It's not that difficult.
Surely the easiest thing to do would just say, "Sorry, guys, we'll get on it now. We'll add subtitles now." And obviously to them, they just don't care. Like, it's not viable for the cost, I guess. There's not enough deaf people that want subtitles, maybe, or hard of hearing or whatever.
Still, that's stupid. Like,
it's stupid.
There are definitely some people that enjoy different language, but still they want to understand stuff.
And again, they said, I'm pretty sure they also said something along the lines of, there's no industry standard for subtitles, which is also untrue, because nowadays everything has subtitles.
Okay, well, there's no standard, but like every game has subtitles. Just video games do subtitles really weird.
It's an unspoken standard, I would say. Like,
yeah,
you expect it.
Sort of.
You expect it. That's it. Like,
sort of.
Because
yeah, I get you.
It's interesting though if you look back, because like before the PS1 era, everything had subtitles, like in Zelda, because everything wasn't voice acted. And then suddenly we have these machines that have cool audio chips, and it's like, oh, let's show off our cool voice acting, but then forget the subtitles.
Yeah, I
And-
hate that. Like,
Well, back
especially
then,
sometimes it's loud. Yeah, sorry, but
no, yeah, back then there were limitations to some extent, even for something trivial like subtitles. But nowadays it's laughable to not implement.
Yeah.
yeah.
But back then you had to consider like actual space of your cartridges or discs
Yeah.
or whatever. But nowadays that's not a fucking issue. So,
Yeah, nowadays all
that's-
games are 100 gigs, so
Yeah, and now saying that there are like no industry standards for that, that's fucking bullshit.
Did you guys know about the subtitles in Minecraft? There's like, it's
No.
really weird.
like closed captions?
It's kind of like closed captions. There is a death mode where in the bottom right corner there's like things popping up and it says like zombie grunt, and then it points an arrow in the direction where it's coming from.
That's cool.
And then like footsteps underneath you, or like more footsteps to the side, or creeper zzz, and stuff like that. It's really
cool.
That's cool.
it works really well. They play the game without sound. You guys heard about the Quiet Man?
Quiet Man.
No.
The Quiet
No.
Man.
What is it?
It's like apparently it's like a game that just came out, and
Oh, they.
and
Okay, yeah.
it's like really bad. I'm gonna like minus the you're not gonna play it. You don't want to play it. It's really really bad. And it's basically like a game where you like have to live through the story of a man that is deaf. Again, I haven't played it, but I've seen many bad things about it. Apparently, you go through the story of this deaf man, and they wanted to deliver a message where like, oh, you can communicate even, or like you can experience stuff even if you're deaf. But then they
I've
managed
seen
to
this, yes.
then they
Published by
managed
Square
to
Enix.
like yeah it was really it's like really awkward because it's especially because it's from Square Enix.
Yeah.
but-
Sorry, go on.
Essentially it's just about like you get thrown to cutscene, but you can't really understand anything because the guy is deaf, and you don't understand the story until you play the second time where you can hear things. It's like
That sounds
I can't
interesting
even
to me.
I can't even start to like you watch
Yeah.
like you watch like 30 minutes of cutscenes, and the people are talking, and all you hear is like and you can't make out anything, and it's like I can't even describe it.
That sounds like an interesting
Watch a
concept.
video on it.
The idea is interesting, the concept, yeah. But as far as I heard, it's like executed very poorly.
That's
I
unfortunate.
think Jim Sterling described it as pretentious garbage.
Yeah, but Jim Sterling
Yeah.
could also be described in the same way. Whoa.
What? Really?
Not garbage.
Sure,
Not garbage.
sure,
Pretentious.
but,
Pretentious.
But he does have valid criticism.
No, dude, I'm subscribed to him. I like a lot of his points, but sometimes he comes off a little bit like exaggerating some things. Like, I would just take his opinion on that game with a grain of salt. Maybe it's not pretentious. Maybe it's just doesn't work.
I've seen
I don't
3 people talk about the exact same things, I believe.
know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's mostly negative, so I guess people really do hate it. But I like the idea. There's a few other games that play on like being blind.
Yeah, I remember one of those, like where everything's white and you just see a little bit, or like the outlines.
You need to like throw objects in the distance or stuff like that, and you like get sound
Yeah.
waves. Although that's not how being blind works, but it's just a representation.
Yeah, you just get
You are
soda.
basically every blind person is like
They
Daredevil.
work with sonar, blind people.
Yeah,
they-
they are basically Daredevil.
They carry around a big bag of empty cans that they can throw around.
They just throw them. There's also another game where I think it's just pitch black and you just play with audio, and it's also in VR. That's another game, but yeah, there's a few games that have played around with that.
Have this game where you play a blind man in VR.
Well, I mean, if you laugh at it, but you think about it, depending on your orientation of your head, you'd hear things in different places. and
Yeah, I
stuff.
guess that kind of makes sense.
Now we
but-
just need a game where you're mute. Oh wait, Half-Life and every other game that came after it. Yeah.
I get it. And Zelda. Actually, no, not in Zelda. You have like yes and no.
Would you consider Monster Hunter a mute game?
No, your character goes, "Hey!"
But you never talk.
Yeah, no, it's not the same. Like Gordon Freeman doesn't even like grunt. I think if you get shot, he doesn't even make a sound. Am I wrong? I think he
I'm not
he
sure.
has no voice. He has no voice box. I'm gonna
Maybe
assume.
you breed.
Wouldn't it be weird if Valve released the next game and gave him a voice? That feels so wrong, right?
Yep, and they would not do it.
Yeah.
By that I mean releasing a new game with him.
Yeah.
I still think they will never release a new. Like there will never be a Half-Life 3.
Half-Life 3, you're saying, but you're not saying that there won't ever be a Half-Life game. Are you
Well,
just saying
there are a lot of Half-Life games, but they're all fan-made. or
from Valve?
fan-made
Yeah.
by
Are you saying
someone
there won't
else.
be another Valve fan game, Valve Half-Life game, or are you just saying continuation to the
Yeah,
story?
I think there will not be another Half-Life game.
I-
Valve.
Really? I really think there will be at some point.
Mm.
I think they've just been waiting because they always like to revolutionize in some way with their game, and VR is like the next step pretty much. They've been developing Source 2 for so long, it's
Yeah,
still
but they are-
unused.
I don't know. At least not Half-Life. Something else, maybe some new IP, but not Half-Life.
I think there's going to be new IPs as
that
well.
ship
but-
is gone. The game, it might be the best masterpiece ever. It will still be not like considered poorly because of the weight.
Yep,
I get
I'm
you.
with Rage.
Yeah, me too. I agree with Rage.
You guys think there will never be one?
It's just it's the
I agree. The hype is so hard for them to.
yeah, it's way
overcome.
past the point of no return. There will never be a game that's as good as the hype.
Well, maybe
Never.
not that. Yeah, I agree with that. Maybe they're gonna make one eventually, but like,
No,
I-
it's not worth it. They just could make a new IP with all the all the revolutionary stuff, and will be better received than a Half-Life game.
Yeah.
I mean, Valve kind of decided, hey, why should we make video games? We can just sell video games. And
Yeah,
make
that's
more
also a
money
point,
for
I
that.
think. But apparently, some people want to make video games because Artifact is coming.
No,
Well, yeah.
they're developing. They're developing. They're developing
yeah.
3 full VR games at the moment. They said they
We
really are
haven't heard-
going. Well, we
Yeah.
haven't heard because it's Valve. Like, who knows? But
That
I
could
think.
be done in 2030.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they've been working on it for years, and that's why. I think they've just been busy doing all sorts of other shit, like developing a VR headset as well alongside with HTC. I don't know. We'll see. We've said it pretty much every episode. I just hope they make something new. I think there will be a Half-Life eventually, despite, like you're saying, people will like burn it to the ground because it didn't live up to their hype. But I think a lot of other people can maybe look past that and just enjoy for what it is anyway.
Yeah, people
I-
will never play the originals, maybe.
Yeah.
Like in 10 years, yeah, sure. No one
We'll
will
see.
play Half-Life
We'll see.
2 even by then, so yeah.
I just don't care anymore. Like, yeah, you left me hanging with a cliffhanger at like.
I
end.
enjoyed the closure that we got from one of the authors that was
Oh, I didn't read it because I'm still holding out. And one of the other people that still work at Valve now said that was a bit inconsiderate, and that's just one.
Sure, but it was a frustrated lead writer who couldn't
Yeah.
finish his story. I can
Yeah,
understand that.
I
Man.
understand, but there are also that was just his version of basically the rest of the story. I don't know. We'll
Sure, but as a lead writer, your version is at least
see. He's one of the
most
lead
parts
writers,
will
I
be-
believe.
Yeah.
Did you guys know? Speaking of kind of like development hell, did you guys know that Diablo 4 supposedly they were playing around with the idea of it being a Dark Souls like game, over the shoulder, and dungeon
What?
explore. Yeah, and
Apparently,
apparently it kind of started crumbling, and they scrapped it.
Blizzard
That
just
would
fucking
be
smoking crack.
Yeah, that would be a bit stupid.
I mean, it's basically
Yeah.
didn't they do that with StarCraft? What's it called? Zero? StarCraft Zero or something?
Ghosts, you mean?
Ghost,
But
yeah.
that was scrapped.
That was also
like a
cancelled, yeah, yeah.
concept. Yeah, but it was scrapped pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Well then, yeah, then they'd probably not make it 4, just Diablo or something of spin.
Well, if you disregard, you cannot disregard Overwatch, I suppose, but Overwatch is a multiplayer experience. Blizzard never made a FPS so far,
I mean, I think Overwatch
or,
counts.
or even like a action RPG.
An action
third-person
game.
thing.
An action game. Like, because
Yeah.
everything is kind of point and click, move it like you
Well,
don't have
they
direct
did,
control.
They did RTS, and then they made Diablo, which is still clicking.
Warcraft.
Isometric stuff.
Yeah, the only game with direct control is Overwatch. Like you click and you walk.
Yeah,
instantly.
Warcraft. World of Warcraft is an MMO. It's also like it's more numbers and clicking than actual skill.
Yeah, I mean, that's completely different teams, though. Like because of all of that backlash.
No, but what I mean in the entire company, there's no experience.
Yeah, that's kind of
true.
true.
Don't have the know-how.
But yeah, you can do Overwatch and just like you can use the Overwatch engine, I guess, and just make an Overwatch that's not Overwatch.
Yeah, that's not an issue. Like Blizzard was never super skilled about super high-tech stuff anyway, and no one wants them to be. That's how it is.
Yeah.
I think around last year they put up job listings for a new co-op first-person game. I think it was around last year.
Yeah, for Diablo 4.
Maybe. I mean, they've said now they're developing Diablo 4. No, I think Diablo 4 happened longer ago. But they're actually confirmed that they're working on Diablo 4 now. I don't know if they've been doing it for a while or if it's just the backlash after Immortal. They're just like, yeah, guys, we're making it. Don't worry. Okay, guys, we need to start developing right now. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I only got into Blizzard recently-ish in the grand scheme of things because of Overwatch, and then I went to HOTS and I'm kind of and StarCraft and all that now. And I realized that they are really talented in their own right, so I hope they kind of recover.
They are talented, but not like they are not the messiah that brings you the message for all the video games.
No,
Like,
they used
some fans make it out to be like they had always like their tech from the technical standpoint, their engines and stuff was never like really revolutionary in any way. They have some really technically talented people, but they didn't revolutionize the market like certain other engines, like for example Half-Life 2 again.
Not their engine, but I think their games revolutionized.
The games, absolutely.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
they have
mechanics definitely, but not from a, like I'm saying, not from a technical standpoint.
Sure,
It's
maybe not
like-
technical, but yeah, they have landmark
They
games
have
in like every
amazing-
genre. Every
Yeah,
genre.
they have
No, Sheep. They don't have landmark games in every genre. They started new genres.
Yeah, pretty
like
much.
Blizzard started like 4 different genres. They have like they have the biggest MMO out there. They didn't start that obviously, but like they kind of created the entire like loot thing that is Diablo. That is a separate genre that they completely
the
created.
action RPG, definitely.
I think it's fair to say
But-
that they're like PUBG. They weren't first to the game, but they kind of like were the big thing in the genre.
Yeah.
On
and
WoW,
everything-
yeah, but on Diablo, they definitely did like a completely new.
That's
Maybe.
the only genre though, because RTS was started by Westwood.
Oh, the team play shooters, the Overwatch type shooters. Those were like not like they were. Okay, they didn't invent that per se, but they definitely gave it like a huge swing.
Overwatch? I would say
One against
TF2.
others, like they fucked up.
Yeah,
up,
TF2 started it,
what's
but
called?
like, let's be honest, how many people were playing TF2 and how many people were started playing these
Dude,
kind of games
TF2
from
was
Overwatch?
really huge back in the day, and for many years after that, it just started dying out now because there was not much support and it's old and stuff. Yeah, they revitalized it for sure, but I don't think Overwatch was the same thing as Diablo was.
Yeah, but you haven't seen like so many yeah, sure there was TF2, but part of it was it was in the orange box, you had it anyways. That's the only reason I played, because eventually I did get the orange box and it was in there, so might as well give it a try, and then I played it here and there, and some people just stuck around. Then with free to play, which is obviously a huge boost to that sort of thing. Then like now you see a bunch of like Overwatch clones more or less. You saw Paladins, I think, was one of them.
Yeah, what I was gonna say was not necessarily cloning the gameplay, but yeah, Overwatch was a huge push for cartoony, vibrant, fleshed out characters. Like you see that a lot more now.
Yeah,
because we had like realistic gray games all the time, and Overwatch
But
was
that
like
also
colorful.
started with LoL and Dota 2 and
LoL,
Dota is
League of
another one
Legends
that I was about to mention.
Yeah, League of Legends and Dota were kind of like they were the first ones like that.
Well,
But since Overwatch, you really see a lot of it.
Dota wasn't made by Blizzard.
It wasn't made by Blizzard, but it was
No.
created on the engine.
Yeah,
yeah.
but it was made by IceFrog, and then
A
they
fan.
didn't
Yeah, I know,
make
I know.
IceFrog anymore, so he went
And then
to
Valve
LoL.
was like, let's take that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
smartest
just like
move
they
ever.
took Counter-Strike.
And Portal, to a certain extent. Portal.
Yeah, to Valve's credit, they recognize talent and
Yeah,
take it
no,
out
I don't
right
think there's
away.
anything wrong with that. The person might as well have been in Valve already, and they just like, this person came up with something really cool. We're gonna put them in our team, and now we are a stronger team for it.
Yeah.
Team Fortress was also a mod for Half-Life originally. Counter-Strike, Portal, just the concept of Portal, but then they like gave it its own interesting world, which you've now have seen a million clones of as well. Yeah. But
kind of in topic. There was a clip that ran around Twitch the other day, and it was basically the guy that literally invented Diablo. It's not working for Blizzard anymore, but he was talking about a couple of things that were going wrong in Blizzard, and because I don't know if you noticed, but one of the big guys at Blizzard stepped down at BlizzCon, Mike Morhaime.
right.
And apparently he got more or less kicked out because I'm not entirely sure, it was something like that the people that work at Blizzard would get a share, like they would get paid based on how well the company is doing.
The bonus, yeah.
They get this bonus, and that bonus was cut apparently. And Mike Morhaime was against that, and they kicked him out or something like that.
Yeah. There's actually... Oh, sorry, I thought you were done.
Yeah, there's lots of shit like that that's like coming from the game industry recently, and it kind of really sucks. Sorry, go ahead.
And I read a report yesterday that there's a little bit of concern in Blizzard about their relationship with Activision. Because they got a report for the first time, I think ever, or in years, they've been told don't spend more money than you need to, which sure, like it makes sense, but I guess they're not used to having this constraint of like, well, I thought I had the freedom to develop whatever I wanted, whatever I thought would be cool, and now for the first time they're being told like, you know, just watch yourself.
Also, like they are also concerned that management is more and more taken over by guys from Activision.
Yeah.
As well, like Morhaime stepped down. He was definitely one of the executives, right?
Yeah, he was one of the founders, I believe.
And his follow-up will most likely be someone from Activision.
Yeah, he look. I don't want to judge people from what they look like, but he looked kind of slimy. I gotta say, he looked like a real slimy, snaky dude.
Oh man, it's kind of reminds me of like Blizzard was always this classic, like they can do no wrong. The team that like brought really classic games.
They lost that.
They lost that when they
Diablo
got bought
3.
by Activision. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying, because I also kind of saw and heard stuff like this about Bungie when they got bought by Activision. They were like, oh, they brought Halo, it's just some dudes making a cool series and they love it. And then now you kind of see Destiny's a little bit like, you know, it's got some...
And then people start to run away from Activision, like we see with Respawn.
Yeah, and with Bungie as well, a lot of the main people that made Halo left.
For all the people that like are kind of into WoW in some way, there is some old videos out there of like the first couple BlizzCons from like 2004 or 5, where all the big guys from Blizzard, they're like in a small room and they're just holding a small little conference about how they want to improve the game. And you can really tell that back then it was like Jeff Kaplan was in there too. He was working on WoW as well, and you could just see this is just a bunch of fucking nerds that just want to make a real good video game. They were talking for like an hour on dungeon design, how they want to make this and how they want to make that, and now it's all about the money.
Yeah,
and like,
I think
it
there's
really
nothing.
sucks.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with like being efficient for the money and everything, but as long as it doesn't get in the way of the idea of the game, like it doesn't make you cut back on.
Completely destroyed WoW, made it like super. They made WoW a complete loot box.
When did they get bought by Activision? How old is this thing?
2008.
8. Okay, it goes even further back than I thought. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been 10 years already in my life.
Well, I hope they recover from it because they
I
are.
think they will also.
Cool.
The worst case scenario would some like a bunch of people would just decide to run and create something new.
Yeah,
just like
exactly.
Infinity Ward.
Infinity Ward, where they make Titanfall devs, right?
Yeah, the Respawn.
Respawn.
Titanfall and Titanfall 2,
Get
which was
bought by
amazing.
EA.
They are not bought by EA. Are they already bought by EA? They had a contract with EA.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but EA.
EA has gotten better. I'm gonna give them credit. They've gotten better.
In what way?
I mean, do you remember how they were evil? Like when SimCity came out and it was
still evil.
Yes, they are.
They are very evil.
I agree with you. I mean, we saw Battlefront 2. I'm just saying that they've gotten better. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, they have actually gotten real backlash.
So they are neutral evil and no chaotic evil, or what are you saying?
Oh, they're lawful evil, Rage.
No, I'm saying they don't have like they don't have a cat on their lap evil. Like, I mean, just I've seen a lot of
just hidden the cat behind the chair.
Yeah, exactly. Like they just appear less evil. They're still the same shithole.
They put they put dog ears on the cat. I don't know. I mean, I can't really back this up now with specific example because it's been a while, but in the last few years I feel like I've been seeing them do things where I'm like, okay, you know, I mean, like for example, they support a lot of smaller indie games now, which they wouldn't have done before, and also they removed like always on DRM for single player games like SimCity.
And that was mostly because they still saw that it didn't work.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's out of the goodness of their heart.
Right.
Maybe it's because they were like, oh, we're gonna lose money, but I'm just saying their policies have improved slightly. I'm not advocating EA. I still think they're shitty, but
I don't know. Now since they were burned by loot boxes, they decided for Battlefield 5 they decided not to make loot boxes, but they decided, hey, we can sell you launch dates instead. So if you pay 90 euros instead of 40 euros, you can play 1 week earlier.
Yeah, but I prefer that over tainting the game with shit like
it's still scummy shit though.
It's weird. Yeah, it's just extra ways to try and make money, but yeah.
Didn't Belgium say, hey, you gotta take your shitty loot boxes out of your video game or we're gonna sue you? And EA was like, nope, you try me, bitch. They really wanted the loot boxes.
They're going to court because
they're going to court over the loot boxes because they're like, nope, our loot boxes are definitely not gambling, even though they're totally gambling. And then you still have the damn loot boxes that are in FIFA, like in general. I don't know if you've seen like that shit at all.
No, not really.
But apparently it's like really, really, really obnoxious with FIFA. Like, imagine getting into a card game because they have this like sort of card game on the side, which many people spend like a lot of money on.
It's
and
like
then every year,
stickers,
it's like panini stickers essentially, but also a little bit of like a tactics game. And it's totally pay to win. And every year a new FIFA comes out, everybody buys the new FIFA, and you buy new loot boxes because all your old shit is gone, as far as I know. That sort of thing. Then you look at games like The Sims, which still gets like 8,000 packs that you can buy like 80 DLC packs or something for Sims.
Yeah, The Sims, I think you can compare to Train Simulator.
Yeah, you buy the base game.
The base game is like still has a lot of like gives you the mechanics and everything, and then just like the Train Simulator, you buy more stuff like more furniture and more jobs or whatever, and more pets.
I want to come on this because I play a lot of Sims. Like Sims 3 was a different story. I think like it's also like Payday. I don't think there's anything wrong with optional DLC that comes later. It's just like they're making a lot of content, like Payday, it's a whole new heist, for example, new characters, stuff like that, and at least in Payday they don't separate the player base. I enjoy that.
Yeah,
Sims, like Sims, for example, it's like they make an entire new city that you could visit with new places, whatever. There's like teleportation mechanics, whatever, futuristic stuff. You get all sorts of new clothes or whatever. It's an expansion. You don't have to buy it, but it's there. They're not going to release it for free. But so I'm okay with that, the huge plethora number of Sims DLC. But when you went to Sims 4, and they, like in Sims 3, pets came as a DLC. It's like, oh, okay, cool. I guess they came up with this later on. But then Sims 4 should have had pets from the beginning, but it didn't. They resold it as DLC again. And that I didn't like. It's like, in Sims 3, I could maybe understand, oh, you didn't think of it at first. And then you added, it's like, oh, wouldn't it be cool to have a cat? Yeah, sure. Now put in Sims 4, so I'm like, oh, this is even more. This is even better. And they took that away, and that was annoying.
Was it like first day DLCs?
No, I don't think so. No.
Yeah, okay.
Do you guys remember Call of Duty 4 Remastered, where they took away one of the DLC maps and they added it as new DLC and they added loot boxes?
Loot boxes to fucking remaster.
Of course you do.
I mean, that I would like that. I honestly don't think that's as bad. Like I hate loot boxes, but what Thomi is describing, like. The game came out 10 years later. This was already DLC. It's already available. Don't resell it as a DLC.
I think it was even more expensive than the original DLC.
Yeah,
Like,
the
what the
thing is, I think the DLC was even free on PC because I remember I never paid for it. Like I remember I bought the game, and I think what happened was they sold the maps on like Xbox and PlayStation. They sold the maps separately, but I think PC got the game a little bit later, and we had the DLC in it. I remember specifically that I never bought the DLC, and I played like the DLC maps. So it was free for me, and now I'm supposed to like pay for your shitty maps that
It's
you
possible.
took out the game.
Because I remember back in the day when I was on Xbox 360, I had to buy the new campaigns for Left 4 Dead, even though Valve was saying they want to release everything for free, and they were doing that on PC. But Microsoft and Sony was basically forcing them to charge.
They had to do it, yeah, because whenever you put up DLC on Live or PS Store, there is a fee for each DLC, like
so
the
they
size
had
of
to,
it and stuff.
yeah.
So they have to charge you.
And because of that, you know how Team Fortress now is like insane on PC with hats and all sorts of crazy stuff. On Xbox 360 and PS3, it's still vanilla Team Fortress. It's vanilla. Like, there's no customization or
Like
anything.
1.0?
I don't know, maybe they gave it like one patch for bugs or whatever, but there's like default guns, default cosmetics, everything, but nobody's playing it because they just moved on or whatever. But I remember playing on Xbox, I was like, all the PC players have so much cool shit. When is this coming for me? And it never came. Yeah, and that sucks for like indie devs. I don't know if Microsoft and Sony have changed
It
their policy.
changed, like definitely.
You can patch for free now. I
They are
assume.
more open to.
But I think
I don't know the details, but they realize that indies are important.
yeah, I don't know if it's free, but I'm pretty sure on consoles you still need to wait for them to approve the patch, whereas on Steam they just send it through, which I guess also has its own negatives in a way if, you know, someone wants to put a virus in their game, which has happened, by the way. Yeah. Cool. Let's see. I have a few more topics. I don't know if you guys care, but since we kind of mentioned it recently, Battlefront 2 is finally getting General Grievous and Obi-Wan Kenobi.
It's
And
also finally coming to
Hello there.
Access.
Finally coming to what?
Access. EA Access.
I don't know, actually. But two of my favorite characters from the universe from that I've experienced. I'm happy about that.
Grievous is amazing.
Yeah. I need to get back to watching the show, actually. The really old one. Because they're like making new seasons, right? Clone Wars?
You mean
Clone Wars.
Clone Wars, yeah. And
Yeah.
Yeah, they announced something.
Yeah, that was good. I started it in the last year only, and it's actually pretty good. Let's see. One other thing. Oh, have you guys? I've been playing recently some. We'll get to the main game I've been playing. I know Guf probably is also itching to talk about it. But before we get to that, Screen Sheet. Have you guys ever heard of Screen Sheet?
I've seen you play it.
What?
As in,
Screen Sheet.
Steam
Agreed.
said, MrWoodenSheep is now playing
Wow,
Screen Sheet.
that technology is amazing. Screen Sheet is I don't know if you guys ever played. It's more of a console thing, and I think you guys all maybe grew up on PC more. But in the back in the day, you could basically play like, you know, local shooters, Halo, James Bond, whatever. And the concept of screen cheating, where you look at your partner's screen because you're sitting right next to them, and you're like, oh, he's over at the water fountain, let me walk over and shoot him. And your friend's like, how the fuck did you know I was there? Well, this game basically capitalizes on this. Every model in the game is invisible, and you always see your opponent's screen. Basically, even if you're online, it's like a split four-way, and you basically try to determine where they are and shoot at them while they're invisible. And
That's pretty cool.
it's such an interesting
yeah.
concept. Actually, I should show it on the thing. It's so fun, man. I played it so much, and the announcer is really funny, and there's many really creative weapons. There's multiple game modes, like, you know, there's just normal deathmatch, but there's also like capture the pinata and stuff like that. It's such a fun game. It came out in 2014. It's pretty old now, but I really love it. I think you guys should.
It works over the internet?
Yeah, it works online as well,
Okay.
and it forces your
I
split
remember
screen. If any of you guys grab it, it's I highly recommend it. I think it's a really cool game.
Adds to wish.
Yeah, I think it's been in a lot of bundles and stuff, so it should be pretty easy to acquire at some point. It's on sale right now, €8. But yeah, the other main game I've been playing, Marble It Up. I mentioned in the last episode, I said I'm looking forward to it. Well, the devs finally sent me a review copy, which is great. I reviewed it. Thankfully, I enjoyed it for the most part, apart from my broken friends leaderboards. And the game is a little bit short. I beat it in like 5 hours. But other than that, It's a game where you roll around a marble. It's all about kind of, if you're that kind of player, you try to perfect your score and get the fastest time. And it's just so good. The music has been stuck in my head non-stop. Literally, I'm lying in bed and I can't get the music out of my head. I love the music. It's just such vibrant, kind of colorful level design. It's interesting. I love that you can actually collect collectibles, and the game is really hard sometimes as well when it comes to trying to find secrets or getting the diamond time. You like really need to break the level. So for example, there might be like a long road and it's like, oh, I just drive down this road as fast as I can, but instead if you want to get the diamond time, you need to try and like jump off the ramp at a specific way and then land on a rock in the background and stuff like that. But I can't recommend the game enough, and actually Guf and another friend of ours, Reminiscent, picked it up, and we've been just speedrunning each other, and we played the first level like for maybe an hour and just kept competing, like, oh dude, I beat your time by 1 millisecond, and then the other person's like, okay, I beat yours
10 milliseconds,
stuff like that. And it's so fun, man. I love this game. Like if you're into platformers or speedruns and stuff, it's so good. And even if you're not, if you want to try and play it like more casually, you can do that. I just saw here, there's a trailer on the store page. They're showing multiplayer, which they've announced is going to be coming soon. Actually, that's a ghost that he's racing here. But they're actually going to be putting multiplayer into the game soon as well. And a free map pack with some more stuff. So, but yeah,
Online?
I highly recommend. Yeah, online multiplayer.
How will the multiplayer work?
I don't know. I don't know if you can
people off.
I don't know if you can collide or if it's going to be ghost form, but you can do it at the same time.
Probably gonna be ghosts, because it would be not fair depending on how the race is formed. Like, because one of you is gonna start at the left and one is gonna start on the right.
Yeah, and
Right.
some levels are kind of asymmetrical, and
Yeah.
or maybe they'll make new levels to accommodate that, or maybe they've announced, I think, multiple game modes. Like one is called Bowler Royale, so that should be interesting. I don't know. Yeah, I'm loving the game. I don't know, Guf, if you have any extra thoughts to add, but
Well, I made a video about me beating sheep's times because sheep is really slow.
that was my it was my first time play. I didn't know I'd
Sure,
have anyone
sure
to
it
compete
was.
against. It was like my first times I beat the level, and then Guf is like, I'm gonna record. He bought the game. He's like, I'm gonna record me beating your time. I was like, haha, okay, Guf. And then he actually put up a video of him beating my times, and then I went back and I beat
So-
his. But yeah,
Yeah, some of them.
some of them.
Well, maybe all of them, all of those times actually, because even my times were really slow.
Yeah, because you
I
were
think
just trying to.
I was just trying to beat sheep's times.
Yeah.
But now that we've
We've mastered
to
the
compete.
controls.
I think we've beaten all of those times, sometimes by an order of magnitude.
And I mean, we must be like in the top 10 in some levels in the world, I think.
Maybe.
I mean, there's a lot of like milliseconds to counter. We're like,
Yeah.
we're in the top 30, maybe 20, 30, something like that. I really do think that for some of the levels. But man, yeah, I
Maybe.
love the game. And I love the music so much. Oh, but it's a good game if anyone wants to pick it up. Yeah, and that's pretty much what I've been playing. Also a bit of Mortal Kombat X. I hear that there might be Mortal Kombat 11 on its way. I really hope that does happen because I look forward to that. It's kind of surprising to see that these devs, like, what do you guys think they've made? What games do you think they've made? Or have you heard of any other games that they've made?
What are the devs?
The NetherRealms, the guys that made Mortal Kombat, and they made Injustice as well, the fighting DC superheroes game. The only other games they've made are like 2 mobile Batman games. It's just
Kind of weird.
it is a bit strange, and I don't know. I feel like they're pretty talented. Obviously, they know what they're doing in this genre, but I feel like I would be interested in seeing even a new IP fighting game. But I guess they just want to keep working on what they're good at and stuff, and people keep buying it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to a new Mortal Kombat
maybe.
game.
I don't know. That seems like a very Asian thing. Like Asian developers do that. Are they Asian developers?
NetherRealm?
Is
Not at
Mortal
all.
Kombat?
Not at all.
Oh, okay. No, I thought it was like, which one was it? There's like one of those fighting games, like Street
Street
Fighter.
Fighter
or something.
is Capcom, yeah.
Yeah, Street Fighter.
And
Like,
there's BlazBlue, and there's a lot of Japanese games.
yeah, they seem to like. Here's Final Fantasy number, I don't know, probably like 30, but we don't call it 30 because it's like 15 or something. Because we have like 3 13s or something. I don't know.
Yeah. There's 13-2.
Yeah,
Like, what
Asian
other
developers
series?
are like
What other
that.
series have you heard? I don't know if it's necessarily Asian developers. I feel like I can think of a few Western ones as well that just stick to one thing, you know?
Call of fucking Duty. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Call of Duty 14 or whatever we're at.
Oh man, yeah. And another game that this is the last thing on my list. Just Cause 4. These devs are just making Just Cause.
Just Cause.
Just Cause.
Did they have some collaboration as well? Avalanche Studio? Didn't they help out
Avalanche
with some
Studio.
games?
They also made Mad Max. Actually, Avalanche. They might have made a few other things as well. But my point was, do any of you enjoy the Just Cause series?
Yes.
How many of you played?
I think I played Just Cause 2.
All right, and Rage?
I played all 3.
All 3. Okay, cool. So I didn't even play the first one. You played more than me. Do you also kind of feel a little bit fatigued like I do? Like, I really enjoy the series, but I didn't need this one now. Just Cause 4.
I stayed away from recent open world stuff. Like, I haven't played an open world game for a long time now.
Me too. I try to keep away from them most of the times. I don't really, not a huge
So
fan.
maybe I will enjoy it.
I'm sure I will when it comes out, but I don't think I needed it right now. And the point I'm trying to get at is I'm scared the game isn't gonna do well. I have a feeling because I don't think most people care, and I think the marketing is kind of failing it. I see so many trailers because I'm on press lists and stuff. But are you guys seeing much on it?
I agree. It might flop hard.
I think it'll
the market does not want it right now.
That's my point. And yeah, I think it's gonna come out soon. And even Shadow of the Tomb Raider kind of surprised me when it came out. And Hitman 2, by the way, didn't do that well, considering all the other games that came out in the same week. I think.
Yeah, like their marketing department slept a bit because probably they were switching publishers.
Yeah.
They didn't get proper marketing support with Sean Bean and everything.
Yeah.
That came out too late, a bit too late. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to complain about that. I beat the first. I want to complain about the first Hitman reboot. I finally beat it.
Alright.
Don't worry, no spoilers, Tommy. I'm just gonna say.
No, you could spoil it.
I'm not gonna. There's nothing to spoil. The story's kind of shit, honestly. But anyway, honestly, I think it's the weakest story from all the Hitman games. But aside from that, the elusive targets. Did I mention in this last episode? Anyway, Hitman has elusive targets. When it came out, they were like, "Oh, you're gonna have a chance to kill this target. He'll be available for a week. You can only try once, whether you succeed or fail." And that sounded interesting to me. But now I bought the game after it came out, or I just finally played it, and the elusive targets are not there. Like, I don't get to experience this fun event thing. It's like getting Overwatch and never getting to play the Halloween event, basically. And
well, there are multiple instances like that though. Like timed events are amazing for a community to engage from the very beginning. Best examples would be I played Splatoon 1, and they had all these amazing like also events basically where you compete against each other. Like there's a question, what is your favorite pet? And then there's like dog or cat, and then there was team dog, and then there was team cat, and they competed against so stuff like that never came back.
yeah, and I mean,
and also for example like Monster Hunter, sure the events will revolve each year, but being in the very first one, like we experienced the very first Kulvetarov on PC right now.
Yeah.
And it was amazing.
Yeah.
And being part of that is quite fun. And of course you don't experience it when you get the game late.
But it's not, the difference is it's not a multiplayer thing. So you don't need players to like fill up the lobby or anything like that. And also the devs have said they don't want to add the elusive targets permanently because they won't hold up. Because like the AI pathing and stuff, it's not like as polished as a normal mission, which makes sense. I'm not saying add it permanently, or add it permanently, but only let me try it once. I just want that. I want to have a go at it. That's it. It just sounds like a fun thing. And obviously, I'm not missing out that much. Like I still experience the game. I got all the real content. Theoretically, I could make my own elusive target, just fight some random contract and never play it again. And also you unlocked some cosmetics for it. I just wanted to have a go at it. I really wish they would make it available, like bring it back into rotation again. Yeah, that's it. But I finally beat the game, and I actually loved it. Once I kind of turned off the opportunities and everything, and I beat it. It's a really, really good Hitman game. It's up there with Blood Money for sure. Maybe even better. I'm still thinking about it. Really good game.
Yeah, it is very good.
It was a really
One
good
of
game.
the strongest entries in the series, definitely.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. But that's everything on my list, guys. So feel free to just talk about whatever the hell. And do you have anything interesting to talk about? Games you've been playing recently, or something you're looking forward to?
Well, Gaf, you talked about Battlefield 5, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
he talked last.
Have you played the campaign at all?
I have not. I'm waiting until I get ray tracing. I'm gonna play it with ray
Okay,
tracing.
okay. all
When are
right.
you gonna have a go at fixing that?
Well, I don't know. Windows October update is just fucked.
Oh, you have problem with that too. Nice.
I told him Tommy was suffering it too.
It's
Oh,
yeah, it just won't install. I don't know.
I fixed it now, but yeah. Have you done anything with registry? That was my problem. I changed the standard registry for path, and that fucked it up for me.
No, I've not changed my registry. No.
Well,
Okay, then I don't
Gaf,
know.
you can send me over your PC. I will add it to our corporate network, and then get the updates through our visas, and then you can get the
And-
updates that way.
That sounds like a great idea. Can
And
you
Rage
just,
will get paid for it,
Give me
too.
your address.
Sure. After the
Just
show.
say it here.
No,
Just
now.
say it right here. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm gonna beep it out. I promise.
Actually, I have a postbox like every proper internet celebrity.
Yeah, I haven't reached that status yet. Rage though.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, okay. So let us know when you play the campaign. We can talk
Yeah,
about
I
it a
will.
bit.
Yeah. Well, something
had-
we discussed with Gaf earlier
Right? Yeah, go on.
was how shit the new Fallout is. This
Mm.
Fallout 76.
Yeah, no one seems to like it, basically.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
except-
like even IGN gave it a 5 out of 10.
Whoa, 5.
Yes.
Maybe they weren't
That's
being
like-
paid by Bethesda like they do with Activision.
That's
They
like
did-
unplayable.
Yeah, they didn't bribe the right people. Well, to be honest, Bethesda games were not properly playable every time they come out. Like Fallout 4 had a lot of issues, but it was such a good package altogether that many disregarded the many bugs they had.
That's how I approach a
Fallout
game.
76, like, it's apparently very bad.
Despite the bugs, is it also bad, or is it just really buggy?
It's very buggy, and despite the bugs, it's very
Because it
bad.
seems to me just like generic Fallout gameplay, but without
Yeah, but you
no
don't have
quests?
any. Like, you have no NPCs beside quest giver robots that don't basically
Okay.
talk to you at all.
And then all interaction after that is just with players, and you hope that they
Yeah.
don't raid you and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's basically Rust,
Rust,
and
yeah.
Ark and whatever, but from Bethesda and buggy.
I mean, I don't care for that, but it does sound kind of interesting. Like, it could work. I like the idea of that you're the first people to come out after the bombs drop, and you rebuild, like, you know, all the
Yeah, but
cities you
that's
see in all
like
the Fallout games.
That's the issue with the setting. You have no NPCs. Because of
Yeah,
that.
yeah. But I mean, it lends itself to that type of gameplay. They want it to be like Rust, and then you kind of build all the civilizations and stuff. But, yeah, I kind of burned down on games like that because I don't like crafting for ages. Like Rust was like that, and Conan Exiles, like they're good, they're fun, but you know, if I die, I don't feel like rebuilding everything again. And
Right.
yeah, one game that actually really gripped me in that genre was The Stomping Land. Probably no one's heard of it. It's
No.
Nope.
it got shut down pretty quickly afterwards. It was a game where you play as tribes people. I have a video on my channel actually, pretty old, so maybe don't watch it. Maybe do. It's you play as tribal people in a dinosaur world, and it was kind of the same thing. You kind of like you can tame them or whatever, or you can attack other people. But I enjoyed like you could trap other people by sedating them or something, and then you could drag them by the foot with a rope and just like feed them to dinosaurs and stuff, or put them in danger and put them in cages. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, Ark.
Not
is
Ark. I'm not
awesome.
talking about Ark.
Oh, not Ark. But Ark
I'm talking-
is, I think you can do the same. You can imprison people and stuff.
Oh, okay, you can do that. Okay, I only played Ark for about 1 hour. I did a really funny video actually where I was just punching all the dinosaurs and pissing my friend off. But yeah, I didn't play it seriously because I couldn't be bothered to craft. But Ark seems interesting. Like I want to get into it, but I just can't be bothered with that stuff.
Oh boy, like I genuinely tried. Like Ark is the sort of game that like I could fall in love with into.
Yeah.
Good English.
It does seem like
Um,
your kind of game.
Yes, but like my experience, and I've tried it for like what 10 hours. Like half of my time was spent. You go somewhere and you like build a thing, and then suddenly it's like, here's a T-Rex or something, and it just like mows you down, and you can't really do anything. And then you respawn, and then like on the beach, there's like some predators too, like I don't know, velociraptors or whatever. And you spawn, and the spawning animation takes like an easy 10 seconds or something. The guy's like, then he like rubs his eyes or whatever.
He looks
You
at his
can't see-
hand. I remember
Yeah, he
it
looks at
very
his
well.
head. You can't see anything. And during that time, like I've had like 10, 20 minutes lost just because I kept spawning at places where instantly those damn raptors came, and then they would just mow me down. And then once I found a place, or I randomly spawned in a place rather, where there was no raptors or anything, then I had to go and like search for my shit. And then I found that there's a huge brachiosaurus on top of my house.
I mean,
So
you can
that
say the
was
same
fun.
about like Minecraft, but obviously the enemies are not as difficult to kill in Minecraft. You could just punch them away and stuff. Yeah, it's just
Yeah, it's just waste
it's not
time.
for us, and I think they probably patched that out because I don't remember being attacked while spawning.
Oh,
but yeah,
I tried it like a year ago, so
it's that kind of game where if you die, you lose so much progress, and you need to work hard to get back to it, and it can be disheartening, and you just don't bother with it again.
Yep.
Yeah. Any other things anyone wants to talk about? Games you're looking forward to? Anyone?
I mean, I'm looking forward to the Yakuza
Yakuza.
1 remake.
Kiwami?
Kiwami, yes.
Yeah.
Did we talk about Yakuza in the last podcast? I'm not sure.
No, I don't think you started it by the time we did the podcast with you in the first episode.
Might be, yeah. So
Yeah.
I did not expect to get that much fun out of a stupid Yakuza game. I really did not expect it. It's like one of my favorite games of all time. I don't know. It's in the top like 50 somewhere probably.
It looks
I
great,
played-
man. It looks great.
I played so many games.
I love that fine line Japanese games ride where with seriousness but also comedy. And that's what Yakuza
the
seems
thing
to be
is-
kind of.
There is no fine line. Like it's like two worlds. It's imagine you have like 4 or 5, probably even different games, all packed into one. Like you can just look at one aspect of the game and play that for like hours, and then you're like, oh, okay, good, back to the normal gameplay. And then you have the main story. The main story is like fantastically written, super great characters. They're all really memorable. They're all like very charismatic in their own ways, and it's very, very serious. There's like, I can't really remember a moment where I was like, hey, that was fucking hilarious. Yeah, maybe like 1 or 2 that were like mildly amusing, but nothing that's like, oh my god, this is so Japanese funny, haha.
Right.
But then you go out in the world and there's like the most random shit. I don't want to spoil like too much, but there's stuff
Yeah, yeah.
like there's like a nude guy that runs around the town, and he's like he's very sexual, and you'd think like in a normal game it would be like, oh yeah, this is just the guy that's running around there. This is just kind of implied, but no, the guy's like, ho ho ho, I gonna go wag my weasel tonight. I'm, by the way, they call me Mr. Libido, and I'm gonna go and stalk all of the girls, and that's all he does.
Fucking hell.
And
Yeah.
then you can like build a friendship meter with him and shit. It's like weird.
I love that stuff, man. I love like some Japanese games just really that's what I was saying about I was talking to you about it, Tommy. Metal Gear is also like everyone's so serious. Like the characters are not aware of the funny things that happen sometimes. Like, you know, Snake is really serious, but he's also got like, you can put him in this like overalls with his nipples sticking out, and like everything's sexualized sometimes. Like all the chicks in the older games, even the fucking newer game, they're always just like hyper sexualized. But everything is just so exaggerated in the Metal Gear world. But still, the overarching story is like so serious. It's about war, you know.
Yeah.
But I love it, man. I love it. I really love that stuff.
I mean,
now-
yeah, Yakuza is about Yakuza people. Sorry?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's about mobs, but it's like, you know, you can play in the arcade and stuff and still have fun with that kind of silly shit.
Yeah, and some stuff is like so like half serious. I don't want to spoil again. I don't want to spoil too much. I want to spoil like one more thing because it's just like fucking weird. If you want, you can plug your ears, Sheep, because I know you want to play it still.
It's whatever. Yeah, it's fine. Go for it.
Okay. Well, so basically, I fought like one mission, which I had to repeat a couple times. It's like I did not expect anything like it. You go into like a random ass store and you're like, what the fuck is going on here? So you talk to the clerk, and it's like a telephone store. I think it's called Telltale Boys Club or something. You're like, okay, I already have like an idea where this is going. So like, he explains to you that you can like talk to women on the phone, and then you go into this little room, and there's a telephone there, and the guy just looks at the telephone. And then there's a fucking quick time event where like the phone rings and you have to pick it up in time with like the right button pressed. And then he goes on the phone and he's like, I don't know, it's all very super dramatic. And then you go into the scene where you have to talk like this random ass girl up, and you have to. It's like a shooter. It's like a twin stick. Not a twin stick shooter. Like you just shoot things on the screen, but it's sentences. So you can say like, for example, I want to talk about how her face looks like, and then there's like 4 things floating around, and they're all really weird. Like one is like nice face, and one says funnel cake, and the next one says fungal toenails or something, and you have to hit the right thing. And if you hit the wrong thing, it like gives you a really weird prompt that they like. It just says like a really weird thing. I can't even explain it.
It sounds bonkers, yeah. It sounds like a Mario Party minigame the way you're describing it.
Dude, the entire Yakuza thing is like Mario Party minigames.
Yeah.
They have this shit all over the place, and some stuff is really deep. Like there's one section where that's like you'll discover this naturally anyways. There's like one part of the game where you can race cars, and let's just say I've never seen a man be so like a Yakuza man be so excited about toy cars. like he's like very emotional about his car, and when he wins he's really really excited, and when he loses he's really sad. Like
nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I want to buy it. I want to buy it for sure. Anything else, guys, or should we wrap it up? No?
I guess I can do one more thing if you guys don't mind.
If you think it's interesting, go for it, sure.
Well, it's kind of relevant because Diablo and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I got really into PoE. I don't know if any of you guys ever played it, Path of Exile.
Yeah.
It's like a Diablo clone. And apparently there's like a global chat, so you could talk to a lot of people, and they might be biased.
Before you get into this,
yes.
Did you know that if you go to, I think it's Diablo4.com?
I told you that.
Yeah, you did. I'm just saying. I'm saying to everyone else, if you go to Diablo4.com, it redirects you to Path of Exile, which is kind of funny.
Yes, I don't know if that was a random person or if that was them, but that was genius. Absolutely genius.
It is a random person.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the game plays like Diablo. Anyway, yeah, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, it's like, it's free to play, so I just was like, whatever, let's try it, and I got really really into it. It's like Diablo with 1,000 different things that you can do, and it's really really in depth and complicated. And yeah, I got super duper hooked, and there's like challenges you can do. So essentially, you just keep grinding and you keep getting better gear and shit. That's like the main gameplay loop. But they made it like they managed to get it done in a way that it doesn't get boring, even though it would usually probably get boring pressing the same 2 buttons all the time. By just giving you very different maps, very different objectives, very different, many different styles in which like you basically progress in the game, and. Yeah, I noticed the development of that game seems to be really, really cool. Like, the people are really happy with how the game is being developed. There's like massive patches all the time, and the next patch, which is really funny because I seen an interview of that. The next patch was like, oh my god, they're gonna announce Diablo 4 at BlizzCon. We're gonna have the biggest patch ever. We're gonna have to compete with Diablo 4, and now they don't have to. And now they're getting this massive patch out.
The game came out in 2013, but it's probably doing better than ever now because of this whole Diablo thing. I'm trying to see.
looked, but there wasn't much of a spike. But
I'm trying to see the spike review, the reviews, if there's a spike. Kind of. No, this is because of the Steam Awards.
yeah, the way the game seems to work. Like I'm not an expert by far, but I've played my fair amount now. It seems to work in a way that every time a new expansion comes out, like that definitely is true. Every time a new expansion comes out, you get you basically can start from scratch, and you can play the new content, and everything that was new content before this patch was also in a sort of league like that, and that gets all merged together into the old stuff. So the old stuff always gets updated like one expansion later, and then you can play the new stuff with a new economy, because this game has like trading and stuff in it as well. So we're very late into this expansion, so everything is like just dirt cheap. You can get everything dirt cheap. And yeah, when the new, like, I'm currently working on just like getting everything done that I can, because you get like rewards when you depending on how far you get.
Yeah.
And when the new league starts, everybody starts again fresh from level 1. You can't trade with the people from the other league, and you get all the new content. And yeah, that's gonna be fun. I'm really excited for it. It seems to be like a really, really, really big patch. So,
Rich, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I wanted to ask, like, how
your mic is far away
really
from.
quiet.
Sorry. How often are these really big updates, though?
Oh, like every
Is it
two,
every?
every 2-3 months, I think. Sometimes 3-4 months.
Because the funny thing is, like, I just, out of curiosity, I checked the Steam charts for Path of Exile.
Yeah. You can see the spikes. They spike every time.
Yeah.
Everybody starts and then it falls off. And then once the new update comes out, there's like a huge spike, right?
Yeah, I mean, most games are like that. I'm sure it's like that with Siege and Overwatch when they get a new hero every 2-3 months as well.
Yeah, but not to that degree, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
I think, yeah, it's like, it's massive. It's huge.
Yeah.
Like right now, I think I saw like 10,000 concurrent players, but on launch, they get up to like 50-60K.
Damn. Yeah, well, check it out if you're into dungeon exploration. Thomi highly recommends it.
Yes, it's super duper fun. Did not expect it.
Cool. Well, I hope it continues doing well. 2013, that's pretty good. I just hope they don't fuck it up like the culling, where oh man, the culling was such an interesting, it was pretty much the first battle royale game before PUBG even, aside from the mods though, from on what were the mods in DayZ and stuff like that, right? The battle royale mods. But yeah, the culling, really good game. It went free to play now, but they released the culling 2 at some point, which completely did away with everything that made the culling interesting and just made a shitty PUBG clone. And now they deleted it, and I don't know what they were thinking. Man.
Yeah, what did they fuck up with the first one that it like didn't do well, or did well at the start, and then
it's just sometimes like releasing things, even if it's good, you just need a bit of luck as well. Maybe the marketing wasn't good, or people didn't care at the time. It was a great game, and it's still out, by the way. Like I said, it went free to play now. It's really interesting. It's melee only, pretty much, and you can even, like, if people, you can recycle things that you find in the world. Like if you find a weapon you don't want or a health pack, you recycle it in this thing and you get points, and then you can spend those points on a care package, and you can choose the care package before you start playing the match. And the care package comes in on a drone, and other people can shoot down the care package and steal it. There's also stuff like if you put in points into some sort of toxic vial, it'll actually release a gas in the entire area. It's really cool, man. And there's a lot of like there's blocking and counterattacks and stuff like that. It's really cool. I actually
like is it zone 2, or is it just like a map sort of?
I'm trying to remember. There must be, right? Like I said, there is gas that that releases within the world. There must be a zone. I can't think of one though. But the game works. I don't remember if there is a zone or not. I don't think so. But there's something that kind of forces you to fight each other. Check it out, man. I'll play it with you even. It's a really fun game, and it's free. But another game also that was that went down this path, SOS, was also a battle royale game that seemed really interesting. I didn't get to try it yet. I got it, but apparently now the community is really upset. They entirely overhauled the game and made it much worse. And yeah, it's kind of sad to see because they tried to imitate games like PUBG.
Yeah, that's the same as with Culling 1 then, yeah.
With what?
Culling 1, the Culling.
The
First
culling.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the culling one they didn't change. Just they changed
They
culling.
did! They
Culling-
changed so much that the player base also turned away.
Maybe, yeah, you might be right. And then culling 2 was just like a completely, like a
Yeah.
mess.
I have the culling installed, by the way.
Yeah,
Never
I told you
touched
to
it.
install it. Yeah, we should play it. It's a fun game.
Yeah. Let's try though.
No, nothing. No closing thoughts. Nothing you want to speak about.
Fuck EA.
All right, cool, good one.
And Activision.
And Activision.
And Activision.
Yes.
Come on, Rage, one more. Who else should we say fuck to?
Bethesda. Fucking them. Bethesda.
They're all right. They don't really deserve that. I would say.
Paid mods.
Sure. No, yeah,
Hey,
you're
Mark.
right. That was really shitty, actually. Okay, yeah, fuck, fine. A smaller fuck to Bethesda. Maybe a
Yeah.
without the K, just FUC. All right. Thank you for watching, guys. Fun episode. I think we had some interesting things to talk about. If you want to check out, I've got some cool new videos on my channel. I put up a review of Marble It Up, and yeah, that's pretty much the only thing we mentioned here. But I've also got other stuff. MrWoodenSheep on YouTube. You've got Thomi on YouTube as well. Thomi, we should see a Path of Exile video at some point, and you can maybe
Oh boy, I don't know if I can manage that.
maybe you can talk about it or just show some gameplay. I don't know, but yeah, Thomi on YouTube, Ragewild and Guf on Steam again if you want to stalk them, and maybe post. Oh, you should post a video of you beating Guf's times in Marble It Up. I think.
Yeah, you should totally do that.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys want to buy me the game, sure.
Oh yeah. I was talking to the viewers, but you can do it too actually, and Rage as well. Anyway, yeah. Thank you guys. Oh, I fucked something up. Oh no, someone else fucked something up. Who left the call? Who do I have to blame?
It's Thomas.
Fucking Tommy. Alright, we'll end it here. Goodbye, thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Bye bye.